What's going on, YouTube Nation? This is Darth Dividend. If you guys are new to my channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. So, someone just asked me if Ford would be a great option and if I should invest in Ford or if this individual should consider investing Ford. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm going to give you my honest answer and honest opinion. So as of right now, Ford Motor Company is $4.86. This is right at 2:02 p.m. So let's see how it's been doing in the past 5 years. Okay, it's going from below $15 and let's just say 2015 it was $15 a share. Now it's $4. Now, given the economy just took a big hit, but it's been decreasing since the economy took a hit. You can't say, well, is this presidential regime or this presidential regime why both are going down? Well, look, it's going down anyways, okay? In the past year, going down from $10. Okay, this is recession, or temporary recession. Okay, I'll give that. Let's see how it's been doing in its history. So it's $4.88. It used to be $33.11. So it's going down from, let's just see, 32, 29, $8, $11. Here comes the recession, $4. Now, again, they didn't ask for a loan, unlike GM, who's probably one of the worst companies that I would ever invest in. But they're increasing, okay. But they're going back down. So they're back down to $5, so pretty much. And they were trending down. So that's a red flag right there. But wait a second, it gives off a 12.29% dividend. That should be really good. So wait a second, let's look at I'm just going on Wikipedia, and production output, decreased 5.5 million vehicles, source 2019. Revenue, it's decreased from 155.9 billion. Oh wait, it's 155.9 billion. Its operating income is decreased, it says minus 315 million, from, if I'm reading this right. Net income has decreased from 84 million, source 2019. Total assets has increased from 258.537 billion. Total equity, looks like it's down from 33.230 billion. Okay, well, maybe we'll see more. Let's see how it's doing against the S&P. Compare S&P index. It has taken a beating against the S&P. It is like, I mean, if you look at this image, it looks like almost like something from like a terrible drawing from Jurassic Park. Okay, this looks like the monster with its jaws open, except the top part of the jaw is the S&P and the bottom part of the jaw is Ford. So one's going way up, one's going way down. That does not look good at all. So that's another strike. It doesn't really look like it's doing that well against the S&P. What about its competitors? Let's see how it's doing against Toyota. I drive a Toyota. Okay, Toyota's going up and Ford is going down. Okay, Toyota has increased. Okay, Toyota's $122.07 a share. And by the way, I drive Toyotas. Ford, Toyota is a very long-lasting car. Ford is going to try to compete against the electric cars like Tesla, and I don't have that much hope in those guys. I would rather buy a Tesla, and I buy used cars, so I posted a video on that. But I drive a Toyota Camry. I made a down payment of a few $1,000s in cash, and I'm making very cheap monthly payments. So that's really nice that I am decreasing. Well, I'm sorry, I am paying only like $100 a month on my Toyota Camry, and I only owe like a few more thousand on that, which is like next to nothing. I could probably, if I really wanted to, I'm not going to do this, but I can sell part of my dividend portfolio and just say, here we go, and then start throwing more money in each month in my dividend portfolio. But that's just crazy. So how is Toyota doing against the S&P? So here's Ford and Toyota. So let's just look at this. Financials. We'll look at that in a second. Here's a competitor, Toyota. Compare. So as of right now, Toyota looks like a much better stock. It's the S&P's just about beating it. Okay, right there. It's right there. But let's look at the financials of Ford. This is another red flag. I mean, there's so many red flags popping up. So look at this. December, let's just do March 2019 quarterly financials. So the revenue is $40.34 billion. It was down 3.85%. The net income is decreased. The net profit margin is decreased. The operating and income, cost of revenue, everything's going on. So look at this. Let's just look at revenue, $40.34 billion. I'm not going to go into detail on the rest of the stuff, but there's all minuses. Now it's down to $38.85 billion for the next quarter. So that's March to June. It went down 0.17%. Net income's going all the way down. Sure, cash on hand's great. Revenue, 36.99. So the revenue's decreasing from June to September. December, 39.72 billion. So the revenue has been decreasing each quarter. That just doesn't look good, by the way it's showing. But let's look at the Ford dividend history here. We're dividend investors. We want to put money in our IRAs and Roth IRAs and 401ks and dividend portfolios. Let's see what it says. Here's another thing. Yeah, oops, that was a typo. So let's look at this dividend history, okay? Okay, 5 cents, it's going up, 12.5 cents, 15 cents, it's going up. That's fantastic, right? But wait a second, didn't somebody freeze their dividend? So Ford Motor Company did what anyone else would do when starting a dramatic loss in cash flow. Took a step back and aimed to keep as much money in its pocket as possible. Ford announced Thursday that, among other moves, it would suspend its quarterly dividend payments to shareholders. The dividend represents an annual cost of $2.4 billion to the Dearborn-based automaker. The most recent quarterly dividend payout was 15 cents per share, which was last paid on March 2nd. Thursday's announcement did not specify for how long the dividend would be suspended. Wild swings in the stock market drove up prices overall on Thursday, while Ford closed at $4.47 a share, down 3 cents or 0.67%. Ford's stock price has fallen precipitously in just the past month. That's kind of a given in a lot of stocks. Ford has plunged by about 50% since it closed on 9/18 on February 1st. Dow Jones is blah, 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 blah. So decrease, let's just look at this, okay? Tesla is pretty hot. They're going to try to compete against Tesla, which I think is almost laughable. I just don't see that happening. There's a lot of quality issues. The Japanese cars are better. Toyota has increased its price per share. You just saw, if you make sure you scroll back in the video, Ford has decreased over time. So it froze its dividend. The price per share has gone down. Has done terrible against the S&P. Has done terrible against its competitors. I mean, this is a no-brainer. My answer is no. I would not put money in it. So look at this. Suspended its quarterly dividend. That when I see somebody suspending stuff, if you ain't gonna get paid, if you're at work, okay, let's just think about this. If you're at work and they give you really nice perks, like for me, my employer hands out tuition reimbursement. I'm going to graduate school. I went back from my RN to BSN. I had everything pretty much paid for by my employer from my RN to BSN. I have to honor 2 years of staying with them. So let's think about this. You're at work, okay, and they told you that they stopped putting money in your 401k, okay? You're putting in 6%, and they said, we're not going to put in 3% anymore. What the hell would you do? I'd look at them and be like, see ya. I got other options. I got other stocks I can buy. I got Toyota. I'm nursing the hospital. If they told me my PTO is frozen, or we're gonna cut your pay or anything, or we're going to not put any more money in your 401k, or freeze your PTO, or give you some nice perks because you work for us, I would just say, I'm not gonna waste my time. Bye. I'd start looking at other places, just like how you should as a dividend investor. Why, somebody's cutting you off? How would that feel? You're on a date with someone, they cut you off. Okay, you're just like, next. That's my thought process in that. Okay, it's next. I mean, I hope they rebound. Don't get me wrong. I want to see the American companies do well. If they start to show improvement, sure, I'm going to put money in them. If they start going up to $20 a share or show opportunity, absolutely. I would puff my chest about them and say how I invested in them, my dividend portfolio or my M1 finance portfolio. But they're taking such a hit. I have to give these guys credit. They didn't want to take a loan out, and when the recession hit in 2009, but they just haven't improved. I mean, they're just taking a beating out there. There's really good competition. They really need to wake up, and they need to do something. It'll be a miracle if they do get these electronic cars that they're trying to claim. It's just, it's too risky if you ask me. I mean, 15 cents a share. Quarterly. Let's look at this stock, Black Core Bond Trust. It gives off a 5.7% dividend. This one's actually, you're better off investing in a bond fund. Okay, here's one I looked at. I was going to maybe put in my portfolio on M1 Finance just so I can get cash flow going. I considered it. Here's just a dividend history on a bond. 6 cents. You do, let's just calculate this. It's 0.068 times. If you calculate this in quarterly, you're pretty much, making what Ford normally gives off, and this one's stagnant. Ford's going down. You're better off investing in a bond so you can get more out of it, and it's pretty much stable. So that's my honest opinion. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. But that's my honest opinion on Ford. I'd like to see it. Actions speak louder than words. They're claiming they're doing so well, but better off investing in a bond. That's just the way I see things. And, I want to see Ford rebound. I want to see, we always think about the American companies and the hard work and the blue collar jobs and all that. Well, I hope Ford rebounds because we do need factory jobs. And, there are some hard workers at Ford. It's just that they are not keeping up with the demands and everything. And they're decreasing. So it's my honest opinion. And it sucks to say that. I mean, it's Ford, Ford. I got a Ford truck or, I got a Ford Mustang, but, things are not looking good for them. So that's just my honest opinion. I just would be careful in investing in them. I'm not investing in them. If I see improvement, I will. So that's about it. So thank you for watching this video, and I will post a Fundrise Friday video in the future tomorrow. So thank you so much. Take care.